And milk and butter. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. It is 6:53, so we are going to call this executive meeting to order of the ANC 5A on November 12th, 2025 at 6:53. We do have everyone here, so we will go ahead and proceed. Commissioners, our main objective tonight is to review the agenda for our November meeting. As you know, our November meeting is next week, at which we moved up because of the holiday. So well, I believe Valeria has sent out a meeting notice for tonight, for next week, because it had to go to week. We have not sent out the agenda yet, but that will be our primary objective tonight, and amongst anything else we have to discuss. Valeria, can you share your screen with the agenda and we can just talk up through it real quick, and as we're going through it, we can talk through things if we need to.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Okay. Can you scroll up to the top of it? Okay. All right. That's for,
Yeah.
this is for next week, right?
Yep, this is for next week.
You just pre-populated it, I see.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So next meeting, we will review the minutes from October 22nd, 2025. We don't have any other minutes we need to do, right, Valeria? We're all caught up? Okay.
Yep, we're caught up.
Okay, commissioners, I sent you all twice now the draft annual report. Everyone needs to submit stuff for the draft annual report that is due in December. I will publicly announce that at the meeting next week. But this is an all hands on deck report, so everyone has sections they need to complete. So I need to know what work you've been doing in your single member district, what things we have taken action on in your single member district. As I said, I sent you the draft report from last year, so you have an example to look at. But I will need all that. Commissioner Bakum, I will need all of the financials at the front of the document. I hope you've done this once before, right?
Yep.
Commissioner? Okay, so you know what we need for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Does anybody have everyone received the annual report draft I sent, correct?
What's the word count? How many words can we use?
They have a lot of boxes in their thing. What I would suggest, Commissioner Sellers, is put it in a Word document if you want to share it with me in a Word document, and then we can work through it together if that helps. Does that help?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And you need it by when?
Well, we have to submit it on the 1st of December. So now I can't say we have ever submitted our annual report on time. They will start yelling at us if we don't, but I know that the holiday is coming up and this happens really quickly. But if everybody can try and get me the information for their stuff, let me look at a calendar. How about, could we say by the 21st, which is a week from Friday? At least a draft of their stuff? If it's easier for you to send it to me in a Word document, then Valeria and I can collaborate and
Yeah.
work together to put it in the document. Is that okay? Okay, so Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Alston, Commissioner Bakum, you all good with that? Commissioner Holloway, okay. All right, Commissioner Hermes, so everyone needs to contribute to this, so if it helps us, just send it to me. Look at the sections that you see, and then we'll need to, Commissioner Garnica and I can work on a working document, and then get that edited and updated. Commissioner Alston, did you have a question?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I thought you were raising your hand. Sorry. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. But we'll announce it publicly at the meeting next week. Okay, and then Commissioner Bakum, we just have the reapproving of the fiscal year 26 budget, right? Do you want to share with people why that is real quick?
Yeah, so they said we have to give the community an opportunity to comment during the meeting. So
And
that's
we
really
didn't?
um I don't know, was it mentioned
We always ask for public comment.
well, I didn't recall if we actually gave people an opportunity to comment. Did
Commissioner
anyone
Garnica,
else?
do you mind checking on that and seeing
I
if
can
you
check.
can? Okay, that would be great. If we did, then we don't need to reapprove the budget.
Okay.
Sorry,
We,
could you restate that? So someone complained that we didn't.
no, it
No.
wasn't a complaint. It was just there was just a like informational session done by OANC, and they're like, make sure you give everyone up, give the community an opportunity to comment on the budget. Make sure you mention in the meeting minutes that you gave the community an opportunity.
Okay,
So
thanks.
I was like,
No,
I wasn't sure if we did.
We
So
did
okay,
that.
well,
We
so,
did
but,
that.
yeah, I thought we
I
did.
think we did
We
too.
did that. We
I'm
did
pretty
that.
sure we did. So, Commissioner Sosa Garnica can check on the minutes and the recording.
So
And,
qualification,
pardon
what
me?
is that to Shayla's point, what does that mean? Give people the opportunity to comment. Is that within the meeting or is that within a cycle?
No, within the meeting.
and if they didn't really have a chance to look at it before, that's not really, I don't know if it's really.
We don't typically provide the documents to the public prior to the meeting, so, and we've never been told we had to do that, so, I mean, but we do share the documents on the screen, and
Well,
so,
I think that's where it comes into transparency
yep.
and being realistic. If I'm sitting in the audience, if I'm at Bertie Backus and it's up on the screen, I'm not going to be able to read that.
Well, I know, but Commissioner Sellers, if you go to a city council meeting, they don't provide the documents in advance of the meeting either. So, not to the public.
We might
So,
have to reapprove this anyway, because I think Commissioner Sellers, you have some things you want to add to it, right?
Hmm.
Like some things that I don't think were on the budget necessarily for, already, so.
okay,
We could just put it in the MailChimp. I mean, I don't think it's right. It's not that.
yeah, I mean, it's fine. We could do that too. Okay. All right. Well, for the moment, Commissioner Sosa Garnica will check just to confirm whether or not we did give opportunity for comment, because it would change a little bit. So if we did give opportunity for comment, then what we would be doing is asking for additional items for the budget, which would be
Mhm.
a different category. So that's to the next item. So Commissioner Sellers, do you want to share what your additional item requests are?
Oh, I did speak to OANC before this meeting. I was going to propose to I got a proposal to buy one pop-up tent with ANC Advisory Neighborhood Commission 5A that we could use, all of the commissioners could use for community events. We could use them whether it's a fair, whether it's a protest, or we could use it for at farmers markets, as well as table skirts. If we're sitting there invited to represent the community or our communities for there. And so I'll put that um, in the shared file so people can look at the price of that. But this is something that could be used ongoing, that would be branded ANC 5A, that could be used for years to come.
Okay. Thank you.
How
So,
much
yes.
are each thing? How much is each thing?
I believe the tent was 1294.07, and the 6 tablecloths were 1824.05.
Hold on.
And those tablecloths, the branded tablecloths, would be used also for our in-person meetings that we would for branding as well as for the community.
So basically $1,300 for a tent?
Correct.
That seems expensive.
Yeah, it
Yes.
does.
Okay. Well, that's the proposal. I'll send it to you all. If someone else wants to get some additional proposals,
Well, Keith, let me ask you a question, because in the past, we've had a pretty hard and fast rule at this ANC that we try and do business with local, with Ward 5 businesses. Was this done through a Ward 5 business?
No, it was not. I did reach out to Gilbert Sons. They did not respond. I've worked with Gilbert Sons, who's in Ward 4. And the gentleman who used to be owner of Gilbert Sons, which is right around the corner, he's now with another company. So he provided me with this estimate.
Okay, do you know if this is one that's, we have to also be careful that they're ones that the city approves of us using? Do you know if that's the case?
I do not believe it is, because when I spoke to Gary at OANC, he did say that we were not wedded to that.
Okay, okay.
But he did give me a follow-up text. I can speak to the general counsel. Because of timing, I did not have a chance to.
That's fine. Is it possible we can at least try and get 3 different quotes for comparison's sake? Okay, I think that would be helpful.
Yep.
That would be
Also,
appreciated.
if we buy the tent and then have it stenciled, or, wouldn't that be cheaper?
I'm not gonna go, well, yes, potentially, but I don't want to go through
Yeah.
that, buying a tent and having it stencil. I think it's better just to get it from a vendor.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
Okay, all right. And Commissioner Bokum, to your knowledge, there's no issue with us making this purchase with our funds, correct?
No, but it just seems like, a little expensive. And also the tablecloths or table skirts, how much were those each?
It was 1824. Oh, each it was $200.
$200 for,
For table set?
okay, but it's mainly because they're with the printing on
With
it,
the
right?
printing
Right.
on it.
I will share it with you all the estimate and put it in our chat so
Okay,
you can review it for
thank you.
transparency.
And do we need that many? Like, couldn't we just need like 2 or 3 or something? I mean, why do we even
Well,
need 6?
the goal is for us to look professional, that we could have them for our the tables as we line up along the front, and also planning for additional commissioners who may be joining us, that are the vacant seats.
So wouldn't 3 be enough though?
They would not be enough.
No?
We have 8 commissioners currently.
Okay, so
And you
But
said the
two
$18,
for-
what you saying, are they $18 a piece?
No,
Or-
no, $200 a piece.
$200 a piece, almost 180, almost $200.
That's-
Okay, let's start with getting 3 quotes for this before we decide on this. And then we can, Commissioner Sellers, if you can get those to us prior to the meeting, then we can, you can make a proposal and we can vote on it next week. Does that work for everybody? Okay.
So there's contradictory goals, using local vendors and saving money. So do we have to, which is the more important?
I'll get the 3 quotes and we can do an assessment. I'll see if I can reach back out to Gilbert Sons and maybe another company around here, a vendor, and see what it comes out.
So in the past, and what the goal has been that we've gotten 3 different quotes. One of them should hopefully be from a Ward 5 vendor.
I don't think we should limit it to a Ward 5 vendor. I think if you limit it, I think we can limit it to a city vendor. But if you limit it,
We've done it for Ward 5 before, but we don't have to get all of them from Ward 5. So what we've done in the past is we've gotten at least one from Ward 5. If the others that come in at more competitive amounts, then we have no problem voting on supporting a local business, small local business that's not in Ward 5. But we have generally tried to either get it from ANC 5A or Ward 5, or the immediate vicinity but if not, then within the city.
Can people just give me their sense of, if it's like 5 times as expensive to use a Ward 5 vendor as versus Amazon or something like that? Is that okay? Would people vote in favor of that? I'm just asking.
Well, I don't think we'd do Amazon.
Well,
Not-
whatever, some like national.
Let me just get 3
Okay.
proposals and let you all choose.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go from there.
I don't wanna
It might be a good idea, guys, to speak with Parks and Recreation too. We've used them many years ago, and that probably would be easier when we talk about getting the logo on and everything. So that might be an option as well.
Keith, you
DPR.
could
that
also reach
prints-
out to Create DC. Create DC is not located in Ward 5, but their owner is a Ward 5 resident.
So
I mean,
DPR can print stuff?
yeah.
Commissioner Holloway?
And have in the past, I've used them in the past. You know, you just have to give them a heads up for how long or when we plan on using them, and it's never been an issue for us. So, yeah, I don't know. Like you say, it's a bunch of them different, but it'd be good to check them out and see what they have to give. I'm sure it would be probably a little cheaper since we're using an actual city entity. I think just something to put out there.
I appreciate that, Commissioner Holloway. Thank you. Okay, so we're clear on that for right now, right? We're gonna, okay.
Hey, one more question. Did you
Yeah.
say you 1/10? Did you say more
Yes.
than 1/10 or 1/10?
110,
110.
It's one tent,
1/10.
one pop-up tent.
like
Okay.
10 by 10,
Okay.
10 feet by 10 feet, something like that.
But I want to also make it clear that, you know, if we do this, that these items can only be used for ANC approved business. Things like that we all agree they're to be used for, not for, you know, things that would not fall within the scope of the ANC. So I'm just putting that out there.
And where would they be stored at?
One of the offices.
One of the offices. Okay, so other purchase approvals, there's been some discussion online about printers, and personal printers versus an office printer. And so, we need to have a discussion about that. Personal printers, Commissioner Bookhoom, correct me if I'm wrong, we have the money for in the budget, and that falls into the equipment that we've already approved the expense for, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And since most of us do work from our homes, I have no problem saying that we're going to do those. Is there something else?
One other thing, sorry for the budget. Somehow my business cards got lost. So if I know they were in a couple
Wow.
people's hands at a couple different offices. So I might add those as a reordering if somehow we can't find them between all the offices.
Yeah, you need to reorder those immediately.
Yep. Okay. But Commissioner Holloway, do you have anything you want to add about the discussion?
All right.
No, as I said before, I just thought the idea that since you have an office, you know, I don't know. I thought maybe a printer would be fine. Like you said, everybody has printers at home and on Capitol Hill for me and all over. But if we have an ANC office, we should have a working printer, I thought. But I'm good with whatever we do from here on out with that one.
We have one in the DC. I mean, it might be worth getting an estimate on how much to get that fixed, right? I don't know, Commissioner
So
Lucia.
what I will tell you is that we purchased that many years ago. It was on a contract. That contract expired. The problem with those is that you have to enter into a contract, and that one, if we entered into a new contract, the likelihood is that they would want to put in a new machine because that machine is like 5 years old. One of the issues with us, I would not recommend we purchase one outright if we were going to purchase one for the office. I would recommend we do it as a lease agreement on a contract, because then with the lease agreement on the contract comes maintenance and the toner and the paper, which toner can get very expensive, maintenance, you know, can get expensive. But my concern is that not enough of us are going to be using it as often as we'd like to justify that, where we can purchase individual printers, copiers, fax machine combinations for a couple $100 a piece.
Mm-hmm. You're
However,
right.
you still have to buy the toner for those,
That's correct. And we can do that too. I mean, it's not, the toner cartridges for that are not nearly as much as they are for a full-fledged
They're
copy.
not as
Yeah, we're
much,
talking
but
about printers versus copiers. The copier is huge, and
I
you
get
know,
it, but
yeah,
printers, the ink is where they get you.
that's okay. I'd rather buy everyone on this commission an individual printer. I think that would be more cost effective.
And
Can
keep
you-
ink
can
in
you-
the DC office.
Can you do a cost analysis of that?
Yeah, Shayla, can you do a cost analysis?
I mean,
Sure.
it's
Sure,
very,
but can
I
someone
mean,
tell me like what copier? Jeez, I was
no,
trying to
I mean,
avoid getting into
it's
this.
the same principle as the tent and the skirts.
Mhm.
If you buy 8 printers and you're buying ink cartridges for that, that adds up. I know personally for my at-home printer, it's not the printer that's where they get you, it is the ink.
But I don't think each one of us wants, I don't need or want a printer.
I already have
Um,
one and it's
No, no, and I concur with that. We don't need 8 printers. I'm
yeah.
just saying to have one small printer at the office
Well,
in
we can
case
buy one
if
small printer.
someone, yeah,
Yeah,
if I'm just saying in case whenever whoever comes through, it could be me. If I come through and there's something that I need to print when I get on my phone, I can send it from my phone and it'll print right there on the printer. You
that's fine.
can,
We can buy one small printer.
yeah,
We
we
don't
don't
need to
need
go
8.
through we
Nah,
don't need a
we don't
big
need
copy
8.
machine.
Well,
So if
Nah.
that's,
I agree with that. However, I would say the library will let you print 20 copies a day free.
yeah,
You can print anything with it at downtown at the OANC's office, as many as you want. Um,
right.
24 hours. The printer outside, or you can send the file downtown and they will print it. And they will even, if you drive up and you say, I'm outside, they will even bring it to the curve sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
I've
so
utilized the library. Like Commissioner Sellers said, I was there a week or so ago, and they just took my stuff and told me just hit on what I needed printed, and they did it for me.
yeah, so
So,
I think
but
there are definitely a variety of options that don't justify us buying a huge copy machine with a lease and all that. What I would suggest is that we maybe consider buying a small printer copy combination for the office and we can buy ink cartridges in bulk and paper in bulk and make sure that it's set up for everyone to print wirelessly. If you can print wirelessly, you should be able to print from wherever you are and send it to that printer and it'll print. So Shayla or Commissioner Bakum, if you want to do some research into how much that would be for the meeting next week, and we can approve that.
Sure. In addition to that one for the office, does anyone else need a personal printer? Because I think that would still be okay. Like if someone wants a personal printer, I think it's reasonable.
Okay, I want the personal one.
You want a personal printer?
Okay,
I
that's
I might also I don't have a printer at all
Okay.
at home.
okay.
Okay.
All right. So then
If
we
I
just need
can,
to go ahead, Tim. Sorry, Commissioner
yeah,
Thomas.
yeah. Have you guys thought about getting the going to Staples to get a credit card so you can go print at that? Everyone have a credit card to print at Staples.
Well, that's an option, but also we need to keep in mind, everyone, that any equipment everyone is given, whether it be the laptops, the phones, or the printers, those all belong to the ANC. Those should not be given out without an equipment agreement, which Commissioner Bakum has, right, Commissioner? And everyone should have been given one of those for their phone and for their laptop that they signed,
Mm-hmm.
that everyone had to sign. And so the same thing would happen with the printers, right? So that everyone knows that upon, if you leave the office, those have to be returned in the same condition they were provided or else replaced.
Okay.
Okay, everyone's aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, all right, so Commissioner Bakum, you can check on that and we can look into that if we need to, and if you can let Commissioner Garnica and I know prior to the meeting next week if that needs to be an agenda item or not, or whether based on previous budget stuff we
Okay,
can.
just can we get a consensus, like Commissioner Alston, Commissioner Guernica, and one for the office? That's 3 printers. I think that they're like, $100 each or something like that. Does anyone else need one? I mean, while we're talking about it.
No.
Okay, so that's 3 printers. I think I might can I just go ahead and get them since they're covered in our budget?
I would think yes, but let's just for official purposes talk about it at the meeting next week. I know we already approved that on the budget. So we've already talked about with OA and C, correct?
Could we purchase, I think Commissioner Sosa Garnica, though, as the secretary, probably would want to get her one faster.
Yes, yeah.
Alternatively, I just need keys to the office with the printer. I live very close to like our office that's in front of UDC, but I like if there was a printer there, I can't access it. I don't have a key. So
Oh,
either a
I can
printer
get you,
or a
I can
key.
get you a key.
Yeah,
can
great.
get
Then if I get a key, then I don't really like it would be nice to have a printer at home to print stuff, but I can also just like walk there and print it there.
Well,
And
I
what,
think, I think you should have one at
I'm
home
sorry,
because
sorry.
Okay, hold on,
Into the-
please. Let's do hands raised, please. Even though this is not a full meeting, this is a business meeting. Let's do hands raised. Commissioner Holloway, go ahead.
I'm thinking that we, just like you're saying, for the secretary, why do we need to wait? When she said we have I mean, what is it, $300 that she says, and we have it in the budget? And
I
and Jack should have his cards. If he don't have any cards, that needs to be ordered now. We don't need to wait till, what are we waiting for
I
next week
found it.
for?
I'm
She can,
sorry. I found the cards. I have the cards.
oh, yeah, the cards, okay,
Yep.
but she needs a printer now, so that should be priority. Now, if you want to wait the next week for the other two, that's fine, but she needs one now. She's secretary.
And I
That's
think
just
you
my
should have
take.
it at your house, Valeria.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's gonna
exactly.
be
Right,
so much
Commissioner
easier.
Garnica, so Garnica, so you should be able to have one, but Commissioner Bakun, please just double check. We have gone back and forth on this before, that this is something we approved in the budget, and I believe you've talked to OANC about this, but just confirm with them, and then we can discern if we need to vote on this next week at the meeting.
Okay, and I'll let you know.
Okay, all right, and then Commissioner Sosa Garnica can update the agenda. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So then commission action items and updates for next meeting. Commissioner Sellers, you want to talk about your 9/11 memorial request?
Yes. So I've been working with UDC Community College over the past 2 or 3 months. I brought it to their attention that the memorial that's currently there is in disrepair. For many of you all who may not know this, the two people that perished from the district were from our neighborhoods.
Mhm.
It was a young lady who lived in North Michigan Park on the corner of, I believe, on the corner of Sergeant Road and Gallatin Street. Her father also worked at the school. It's my understanding that they moved away shortly afterwards. And then the teacher who perished, I'm not sure where she lived, if she was in the district or not. So, but the conversation I've had with UDC is that they have plans on upgrading the memorial, the 911 memorial, but they would like to have feedback input from the community as far as the verbiage, what would go on those the placard there. I'll send you all the pictures that I've taken of it. In fact, this past weekend, myself, a neighbor, and another ANC commissioner, we planted daffodils there along the front. Just for beautification. Hopefully they will come up in the spring. But they would like to present at our next ANC meeting with feedback from the community. And if anyone here has contacts from the family or relatives or input, they would welcome that.
So Commissioner Sellers, let me just get clarification. Is this an action item? Because I didn't hear yet. Are you needing an action from us on this, or is this just a update?
It's an update, and they've requested to come and present at our next ANC meeting.
Okay, then Commissioner Garnica, that needs to be moved to reports and presentations.
Are
That-
they
that-
reporting because they're going to eventually want us to help them out with it, or just like a general notification of the neighborhood?
General, they want buy-in from the
Okay,
community.
so it's not a grant or anything.
There's not a grant. They should have money. They haven't asked for anything. And it's just, I think and I don't want to be dramatic, but I think it's just disrespectful how we recognize the two people who perished in 9/11 from the city and from the neighborhood.
And I
Can-
know
can-
it's a small amount, but you also spent some money on those bulbs. And like, if you wanted to try to get,
I spent $36 on 100 bulbs. If I could
So-
get
Can you-
reimbursed for
Can you
that.
also, check with them to see if they do need some financial assistance.
Yeah, I mean, we can ask them when they present.
Okay,
Okay,
So even though it's a small amount, I don't think it's in the budget, so I think we do need to just approve it. I don't know. Sorry, I know it's
okay,
like
so,
minutia.
so hold on, let me get clarification, Commissioner Bakum. So what you're asking is if Commissioner Sellers would like to be reimbursed for expense he paid out of his own pocket
Mm-hmm.
for this memorial of
Yes.
around $35. Okay,
Mhm.
so technically, right, when we do that on our own in advance and just pay for it on our own, you know, we know we run the risk of not being reimbursed. I understand that. So I'm just throwing that out there because that's the regulations. But
Mhm.
if no one has any objection to us using ANC funds to help cover this community project, would that come out of the grant funding though, or would that come out of?
Yeah, there's actually they divided grants into a new category that's like grants given to another organization and other types of direct community expenditures that would otherwise be grants, but we're doing the expense ourselves. So it's basically the same line item.
But we'd still have to put in an application for it.
No, we wouldn't. We would just have to put it in our budget and reapprove the budget.
Okay. All right. So that can go under Commissioner Garnica. What we can do that when we get down to that report. We can add that when we get down to the report saying that out of kindness, we would like to offer to help with that.
Can we like just put a little extra in that line item since we're going ahead and, you know, let's say it's gonna be like 500 or something, you know what I mean, over the course of the whatever. I'm just saying, like, instead of just putting $35 and having to pass it again if we need to
right.
increase it, can we just say like, I don't know, 400 or 500 or something, just in case something else comes up for that.
For the memorial?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just Commissioner Bakum, please double check with OA and C, just about guidance on that, just to make sure we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's for that, okay? Because it's a little bit sticky.
Okay. No
Okay.
problem. Yep.
All right. Okay, so then the second action item is I had a single member district meeting last week and Mundo Verde Charter School requested holiday work. The members of my single member district who attended approved that unanimously, so we just need to write a letter in support. I need to write a letter in support of that, so I just need to do a vote on that. So that's all that is. Commissioner Alston or Commissioner Mez, is one of you able to give an update on the ABCA situation next week?
Happy to, Miss Austin. What do you think? You want me to, or you want to do it?
This
We
is
can
about
both
the
do it.
lawyer. We both can do it.
So
Do you want to just give a summary for everybody here,
yeah,
Jeff?
So I mean, I'm sure everyone's up to date. I've seen everyone in the chat. I think it's people that have been here, thankfully, been loyal to us throughout all these meetings. But basically, as you know, suing. There was a marijuana dispensary that wants to come into town on South Dakota Avenue. We protested, got dismissed from protesting for what are very clearly to us and to the attorneys we've spoken to, improper procedures to ANC's right to great weight to protest marijuana dispensaries and alcohol servers to come into the community. And we're basically at the point where we, as private citizens, a couple of us, are suing the Alcoholic Beverage and Cannabis Board, not the administration itself, for failing to give ANC 5A great weight and failing to give ANC's citywide great weight. So we have our attorneys that have just filed a motion for stay, meaning asking ABCA not to approve the license until and unless we hear from the Court of Appeals about what their thoughts are. Though recently we just made the decision with the Court of Appeals per their recommendation to withdraw the lawsuit with no penalty. Of course, we're going to bring it back later, but temporarily withdraw it because they wanted us to wait until after ABCA actually approved the license and then go in and sue them. Because technically they said, well, if ABCA denies the license in the middle of us doing this sort of this appeals process, then it's just going to dismiss the case or whatever. So they said, we want to see ABCA approve the license and not give ANC 5A great weight before we consider this DC Court of Appeals route. So we follow that. We'll probably withdraw our motion for stay. And unfortunate reality is that ABCA, they haven't denied, I think, a single marijuana license this entire year. So they're probably going to approve that license, at which point we would file a new motion, which is that it can't open until this DC Court of Appeals lawsuit 2.0 is brought. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, I talked to Councilmember McDuffie and also Robert White. Robert White is looking into the matter because Robert White is actually over the ANCs, so I should be meeting with him. He said maybe the end of next week to discuss the matter, and hopefully we can get something done where they go ahead on and dismiss and don't give them a license. And I noticed today that like 6 kids in I think it's a middle school, they got like poisoned by marijuana. Some kid brought to school, like in a cake or something like that. And we don't need this open in our area. So I'm waiting to hear back from him.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we can give an update on that. I mean, I think at this point, hopefully EBCO will be willing to do the stay. We'll see what happens with that. Okay. All right, so then we'll have community updates from the mayor's office, the council member's office. Commissioner Sosa Garnico, you can remove that 5801 from community updates. Yeah. Okay, that just goes into reports and presentations. And so then, Commissioner Hermes, do you want to talk about the presentation from Catholic University?
Yeah, so every 15 years, as we all know, universities have to resubmit their campus plans. Catholic University's last one was in 2002, which means it's coming up for 2027. That process, sort of like, the Providence Hospital and so many other things, you have to start it nice and early. So Catholic U wants to start engaging the community, engaging, not only the university community, but also our neighbors, the ANC, early on to see sort of our inputs on things that they would love to see on campus, ideas that we may have that maybe would make the neighbors a little bit more hesitant. But basically, next week's meeting is going to be like very sort of informal, just letting everyone know we're going through this process. Here's how to submit, sort of step one level stuff. We're not going to have like an actual multifaceted design layout ready or anything like that. I mean, part of that also now, because of, we all know the Marist Hall thing and what the preservation board did, that sort of is thrown off and is really hurting the university a lot with the campus plan. But they're being very gracious and of course coming to the ANC and wanting any neighbors inputs. But again, not going to be like a super in-depth presentation on what the campus plan would look like, but just sort of opening that conversation to the community.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Sosa Garnica, do you mind moving the UDC presentation after the Catholic one, because the other one is a guest, and so I'd like to just do things that are directly related to commission stuff first, unless anybody has any objection to that. And then we've got a guest coming from Washington Gas. Did he say what the discussion was? I don't remember. You're on mute, Commissioner.
Sorry, I can pull it up, but I think it was just to like do a kind of an annual check-in and,
Okay.
talk about what they do and that kind of just give a brief presentation.
Can I just real quick, because especially some of these meetings get on so long and these presentations, I mean, can we make it like clear to them at the beginning, like 5 minutes, nothing more, we're going to cut you, it's just like,
We do.
sometimes we just some of these like last presentations or the last meetings, I'm like, what purpose does this really?
So
Well, Commissioner, they're here to provide information for the community. And so what our job is as a commission is, when we have these meetings, is to limit them, because we have, lots of different people reaching out to us to present in our meetings, right? And so there's oftentimes when I say we've got a full agenda already for this meeting, you're going to have to defer it till next meeting, right? And so that's our responsibility to do that. And so, but when they reach out to us, we always tell them no longer than 5-10 minutes, unless it's a very in-depth presentation. But I don't think that's going to be an issue. Commissioner Garnica, go ahead.
Yeah, so they want to provide a briefing on the upcoming infrastructure project that will affect Bunker Hill in the spring of 2026, and they asked for 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, can you just put a little more detail on that says just a update
Sure.
on the infrastructure for the Bunker Hill project?
I can absolutely do
Yeah.
that.
And when you send them the link, just remind them that they only get like 5-10 minutes. Commissioner Holloway, go ahead. I saw your hand raised.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate on what Jack was asking. When we say that you have 10 or 12 minutes or whatever we make a decision on, I think we could all collectively vote to say, what do we think is going to be sufficient enough time? But the shorter the time we have, and then they're able to process the 2 minutes, the 3 minutes that they're going to use, and then we'll be able to hear more people. If one person takes up a whole half an hour, then what are we doing?
Yeah, we're
So
not, yeah, and I agree with you, Commissioner Holloway. I think we will do our best to limit them and keep them under track. So, and then we'll limit and then, hear from the community about these things. So Commissioner Garnica, you'll just add like one sentence on that, right?
Yeah, I'll just add one sentence, and I'm also happy to keep track of time.
Yeah, that's
Going
fine.
forward with
Yeah.
presentations.
Can we
That would be
push
great.
it? Can we?
Um,
Sorry.
Guys, can everyone use the raise hands feature? Because when you use the raise hand feature, then it pops up quickly on my thing, so I see it. But I see you, Commissioner Sellers. Go ahead.
Sorry. Can we purchase a time clock?
Yeah.
I can
We
keep it
can do
on my
that. That's
phone as
fine.
well.
And then Commissioner,
Where it just counts down of how much time, like they
yeah,
do.
that's fine.
Mhm.
Yep, that's fine. And Commissioner Bukum, you're gonna bring the gavel next time, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's the agenda. Anything else on the agenda for the meeting for next week?
Yes.
Commissioner Alston?
I like to the farmers market. They want to present something. And that's very, very, I think that'd be very helpful. If they're going to talk about how to actually work with them, they can show you what times they're going to be there, and they show you how to grow your own food and show you the facilities that they use. And they have a wonderful box, really big box. You put little pieces of fruit in there, and then it turns. Next week, it's a great big bundle of fruit. And I thought that was exciting. They showed us that. So they wanted to come more for about 5 minutes.
Okay. Can you make sure they send a formal email request just so we have that on record for Commissioner Garnica, Sosa Garnica and myself, and then we can send them a response acknowledging them and then making sure that if they have slides, they send them to us and limit and tell them how long they're gonna have to present and everything.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
does
will
anybody else
do.
have a problem with that?
I just have a question about that. Sorry.
Yeah,
How much longer is the farmers market going to be taking place for
that's a
this
good
year?
question.
I don't know.
So I
Guess
just
the-
wonder whether maybe it might be better for them to come back in the spring unless they're going through the winter. I think is the point, right? Commissioner McCombs, is that what you're getting at?
No,
Because I mean,
well, actually, I mean, it's been we've been like advocating for this farmers market for a long time. And
Mhm.
so they had a celebration. This is a huge thing for the community.
Right.
So if they could come and present, it would be helpful.
okay, all
And
right. So
just tell them that they have 4 minutes.
it's fine. This is Commissioner Sellers, SMD. So this will be Commissioner Sellers. I will acknowledge you first with this, and then you can introduce them. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
So Commissioner Austin, is this UDC or is this the farmers market people at UDC?
The farmers market people at UDC.
Okay. So I'll coordinate that with the UDC folks who are going to be speaking about the memorial. Maybe they
Okay.
can go back to that.
So yeah, so Commissioner Sosa Garnica, if you want to put that as right after the UDC presentation, they can go back to back. That's true.
Way to do that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so aside from the agenda, is there any other commission business we need to talk about briefly? Yes, Commissioner Sosa Garnica.
There's just two brief things. One is a reminder to all commissioners to send me your meeting minutes from your SMD meetings so I can upload them to the website. You can just email them to me and I'll make sure they get on the Dropbox. And
I
then
want
the
to
second,
just real quick on that. I've had if people could do that, I'd appreciate it because I've had a number of people from other SMDs reach out to me and ask about that. And so if you've had a single member district meeting in the last year, please send those meetings to Commissioner Sosa Garnica so she can upload those to the website. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think Keith had his hand up.
Oh, sorry, Commissioner Sellers. Sorry. No, you gotta use the hand raise feature.
Honestly, I can't find it right now. What can I notes? I'm guilty. I had a meeting and I didn't have any notes. So I'm gonna have to create them. Just highlights from the meeting.
So what I typically do for my single member district meetings is put obviously the date, it was a single member district meeting, right? I'll take a head count just to say how many residents were at the meeting. And then I have an agenda for each meeting, and then I'll just put a few notes about the agenda, what the discussions were, and if there was any presentations and any comments from the community. It doesn't have to be too intense. Okay.
Question.
Yes, Commissioner Alston.
Okay, now, since I brought up the fact that the farmer's market needs to have some representation, so why is it that I'm not saying that? Because they came to me and they asked me, why did you give it to sellers?
Because because it's in his single member district. So anything that's each commissioner is responsible for providing information about things within their single member district.
So when you ask me, is this a UDC or is this the farmer's market?
Well, it's the farmer's market that's located on that property, right?
So what do you, sellers, what difference was it when you asked me that?
Commissioner Sellers, that question's for you.
Commissioner, I believe this is just two different entities. You have the university folks the folks I'm talking with, and you have the farmers market, which is a separate component of the university.
The farmer's market.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
clear. I'm clear, and it doesn't matter to me. If you want to present them, that's fine. I'm here to support the farmers market.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so, and Commissioner Sosa-Garnica, you're gonna move that up to letter C, right, on the agenda?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, and then I'm sorry, so Commissioner Sosa-Garnica, you had one other item you wanted to bring up to.
The second thing was I just really briefly wanted to check in to make sure that specifically on the MailChimp, I know a couple of you have seen the newsletter that we sent out, and we had mentioned at the last exec meeting when I was sick that our previous and existing email template is in the legacy builder for MailChimp, which is not the most easiest to get those emails out. So I just wanted to check in to see if anyone had any feedback, or basically, like, is it okay if we move to the new template that we're using for the community newsletter as well for our meeting notices and updates?
I have feedback. Sorry, I
Great.
can't find anything. I did
Commissioner-
receive.
I'm sorry, real quick, Commissioner Sellers. Commissioner Sosa-Garnica, why don't you stop sharing the agenda, and can you share a screen picture of either the new or the old?
I can.
The new version so people can share and look at it?
Yeah, this is the old template version that we were sending out. So it's very simple. And then this is the new version. Again, it's not a huge change. It is literally just that we have to have the template on, like, it's an old template on the old builder, and we just need a new template on the new builder. So I'm
Can you
happy
scroll
to
down a little bit too?
customize. Yep.
The
Happy to
bottom.
customize it to, whatever additional needs the commissioners have.
And then one addition she made at the bottom is she put all of our direct contact information on there, and I don't know how people feel about that. So just so you all can see it visually, Commissioner Sellers and then Commissioner Bakum.
Well, I was at a community meetings, Lamont Riggs Citizen Association meeting this week or last week. And two of the people from the community commented positively about the newsletter, and they said you all are doing a great job, and they wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Okay, but
Commissioner Bakum, hold on. Commissioner
Yes,
Bakum.
I just wanted to say the same thing. It's great. I like all the details, the links and the different things you included in there. Very, very helpful. So great job.
Thank you. I would agree. I think it looks really nice. I am a little concerned whether we want all of our PII on the bottom or not. How does everybody feel about their PII on the bottom of it?
Can we do email but no cell phone, maybe?
I think that would be preferred.
Well,
Yeah, and
and
these are all the
I'm sorry.
ANC.
Hold on,
Sorry.
hands raised, please. Hands raised.
I tried the hand raise thing and it's not working.
it's not
Okay,
working.
so
I-
hold on.
I
Okay,
tried
so
it.
hold on.
All right, go ahead. I'm
one
listening.
at a time. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I will call on people one at a time. Commissioner Sosa-Garnica, then Commissioner Alston, then Commissioner Holloway.
I was just briefly going to mention that these are the cell phone numbers that are listed as like commission business numbers, I think, on the website. So I'm just noting that they're already public information elsewhere, so we can also remove it from the website if that would be helpful. But yeah, we can also just take it off the email template.
All right, Commissioner Alston.
Yes, I'd like for mine to be taken off. And also two things, and then I'm good. So is it? I'm supposed to be introducing the farmers market, correct?
Commissioner Alston, I'm going to suggest you and Commissioner Sellers work that off out between the two of you offline, and then let us know.
He just said it.
Just
few
that's fine.
moments ago.
Just that's fine. Just the two of you work it out and just confirm that with each other, and then whatever you guys decide is fine. But we are moving on from that. So anything else about the newsletter, Commissioner Alston?
No, not the news. I just have something else that I wanted to add to the agenda.
Okay. Well, we already moved on from that too, but we will come back to that. Hold on a
Okay.
second. Commissioner Holloway, you had a comment about the newsletter.
Anyway, I think it's a great job on here. I would just prefer to have a different number for me. They can keep the ANC email, but most people use my personal email, but that's fine. I check them both. But my number, I would prefer to have my private number and not the government number on there.
So
Could you?
I think a majority of people would prefer to not to have the phone number on here, even though it's on the website. Would that be okay with people?
Yes.
Okay, so we're just gonna take the phone numbers off and just leave the emails on. Is that okay? So Commissioner Gunn?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
They just wanted to confirm if you wanted to just take it off the email or also the website.
No, just the email. It's fine to leave them on the
Okay.
website. Yeah, because they've been on the website. That's fine. Okay, and they are also on the government website as well.
Yeah, but it looks excellent. It does. It looks very nice.
Yep, it
Thank
does.
you.
Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna go to Commissioner Alston, then I'm gonna come back to Commissioner Sellers. Unless Commissioner Sellers is yours about the newsletter? Okay, Commissioner Sellers, you can go first.
I'm just curious, do you have any metrics as far as how many people have viewed it and how many
Yeah.
people have signed up for it that you could share?
I'm happy I can print out a report and send it out to folks. Our open rates have been getting higher, which is nice. I think it's like they're hovering at around like 55 to 60%, which is actually very high average email open rate. And we have about 600, I want to say like 650-ish subscribers, like 500 plus subscribers on our newsletter.
Yeah,
that are
that's
seeing
been pretty
this.
standard for the last 3 or 4 years, but I will say a couple years ago, we added a direct link on, when we redid the website, we added a direct link to sign up from the website, and I think that has helped a lot. So,
Well, we could talk offline. I'd love to chat with you of exploring ways that we can increase people to sign up for the newsletter.
so one
Excellent.
thing I'm gonna suggest everyone do, you can add a tagline to your email. And on my email is a tagline for the newsletter and for the website and for my email list as well. So everybody could add it to their tagline. So anytime you engage with your constituents over your email, they would get that, and you can say to join the email list or whatever. That's one thing that could be done. Is that adding that on your signature? Okay, Commissioner Holloway, I do want to ask a question. You asked you were going to give your personal phone number, but did you get a phone from Commissioner Bakum?
Yes, and that's the phone number that's listed, I believe,
The
right?
phone number that's the phone number that's showing. But yeah, but I said most of my constituents contact me on my phone, but I still check this one as well for, every now and again I get a message from it, but they either send.
So you use the commission phone for your email primarily? You're unmuted, Commissioner Holloway.
Yeah, basically that's what
Okay.
I'm communicating through my government email with that phone.
Got
So
it. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Alston, you have one more agenda item. We will go back to the agenda real quick.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know whether it's too late or not, but the new generation was putting in a grant proposal to have a Christmas festival.
Okay, have they submitted the grant request to Commissioner Bakum yet?
They're not till Friday. They're not gonna do it till Friday. Is that too late?
Commissioner Bakum, go ahead.
I thought I saw somewhere that I don't know if this is still the case, but we don't accept grant requests like for certain months of the year. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
I don't
Uh,
remember that either.
it's like an old bylaws thing, which something like we don't accept grant requests in the last 3 months or the first 3 months of the year, which I thought was a little bit excessive, but
Commissioner Hermes, can you check that, please?
Yeah, I'm on it right
bylaws.
now, checking the bylaws
Thanks.
right now.
Thanks.
Okay.
We usually have the dinner for the seniors in the neighborhood, for everybody, the kids, neighborhood, and everybody down at North Michigan Park. But they're not doing anything anymore. So it's something similar to that.
Yeah, I believe I'm pretty sure that that's correct in the bylaws. I haven't read it recently, but I'm pretty sure I do remember saying something like that. Commissioner Bakum.
Also, if it's primarily food, I mean,
Yep.
food is okay, but only it's supposed to be like not the entire purpose of the event.
Right.
No, it's not. It's not only food. What it's going to be is um, a musical play that UDC is supposed to be putting on, and it's a local dance studio for young kids.
But we're not you're not asking, this grant is not asking funds for that musical. It's just asking for this piece of it, which would only be the food part of it. So I think that's the
The food
issue.
is no. All of it's combined. That goes along with it.
Well, but if UDC is paying for the musical pieces,
No. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. UDC is not paying for anything. This would be part of the proposal.
well, it's a little late to be doing that, but Commissioner Hermes, go ahead.
Yeah, I just checked the bylaws. There's nothing about not being able to approve grants in the last couple months, but happy to talk to the general counsel and make sure there's not like an ANC rule that prohibits that maybe you guys were referencing. There's nothing in our bylaws that says you can't.
Okay. All right.
If I
thank
may,
you.
please, how much are
Yes,
they asking
Commissioner
for,
Thomas,
please?
go ahead.
How much are they asking for this Christmas play?
I don't know.
But if they're behind, they have to catch up.
They want until Friday. I won't know until Friday. Because they had to
Okay.
clarify with everybody that they be able to actually get the people to do the performances.
Thank you.
Okay, so I say we can do this. We will leave the agenda as is for right now.
Mhm.
If Commissioner Bakum receives the grant proposal and gets everything checked out prior to our meeting next week, when we are at the meeting and I ask if there's any updates or changes to the agenda, Commissioner Bakum can then raise her hand and say, I'd like to add this grant proposal to the agenda, and we can do it there. But
Great.
until we actually have the grant proposal in hand, I'm not comfortable adding it to the agenda. Is that okay with everybody?
Of course. Thank you so much.
Yep, Commissioner Bakum.
I found the reference. It's on our website under anc5a.org/resources/grant application. So I guess this might be obsolete, but it says budget period funds available for a grant are those funds that have been budgeted for grants. No grant applications will be accepted, nor will any grants be awarded during the first 3 months and the final 3 months of an ANC term.
So that's not in our bylaws. That's an OANC rule, right? On the grant applications, right?
This is on anc5a.org, so I think it's just for us. I don't know.
No, that language would have
It
come
would
from
have to be in the
OANC.
bylaws, yeah.
Um,
I don't know where it came from, but
okay, so Commissioner Bakum or Commissioner Hermes, can one of you please check with OANC on that and make sure? Commissioner Hermes, do you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I just have two other minor things, but if they're not related to this. I don't know
Okay.
when the right
And-
time is.
Okay. All right, so
Commissioner Sellers
can one of
also
you,
had.
I saw a thumbs up from that. I see you, Commissioner Sellers, just a minute. Commissioner Sellers, just toggle over the bottom of your screen and there's a little thing that says
I
raise hand.
found it.
Okay.
I-
So Commissioner Hermes, just if you can, you or Commissioner Bakum collaborate on checking the rules on that, and then we'll just go as planned. If now the first part is that they have to submit the grant application prior to the meeting. The second part is that Commissioner Bakum has to work to make sure that everything in the grant request is covered under the grant. And then we also simultaneously have to check to make sure that this is not an issue for them presenting something in the last, if it's the last calendar year or the last part of the term, right? This is not the last part of our term. The last part of our term is next year, is a year from now. But the end of the calendar year is this year. So we have to get clarification on that. Okay. Okay. All right. So I will leave that to the two of you. Okay. Thank you. All right. Commissioner, Hermes, you had two other agenda.
Yeah, two things. First, I just read it. It is at the end of the last 3 months of the term, so I think that would be not applicable here. Two things. First thing, I just wanted to talk about locations for 2026. I know that what we'd agreed on was doing COA for executive meetings and then UDC for the general body meeting. So I don't know if now's the right time or if we have a December. I don't think we have a December executive meeting.
We do not.
Okay, so do we want to sort that out now or?
We can talk about that. Also, just sorry to cut you off real quick, just so before I forget, our January meeting is all ANC business. Just as a reminder, okay? We have to vote on the calendar. We have to vote on a whole bunch of things, and we also have to have elections. All of that will be what the bulk of the meeting in January is. So if anybody approaches you about coming to present something in January, please try and defer it to February, unless it is absolutely necessary time printing. And we are not allowed to vote on anything until after we do all that anyway. Just to be clear. I'm sorry, Commissioner Ramirez, I just wanted to.
No, that's a good point. Okay, yeah.
clarify
So
that.
I know COA is very interested in hosting the February and or the March meetings. I also would like, I'm interested to get people's thoughts. I think for these executive meetings, it might just make sense for us to meet via Zoom for them. And then just do in person at the general body meetings, but interested to know what people's thoughts are on that.
I
And then I
would
have
say
another
that
thing after that, but
I would be in concurrence about the virtual meetings for the exec meetings. I think that would be a huge help because they don't usually take a whole lot of time. And then for the other meetings, my only thought is this, that, we're already saying that we're struggling getting people to come. I think if we start changing the locations around, that is a bit of a, I personally think that makes it more challenging for people to find us. If they know we're in a consistent meeting place at a consistent meeting time, it makes it a little bit easier. But that's my thoughts, but I'm open to hearing from other people. If there's any hands raised, I'll take.
I'm trying to raise my hand, but
Thank you, Commissioner Holloway, go ahead.
I don't know what's going on with my hand thing tonight. It works sometimes, sometimes it doesn't. Well, I think um, I'm in agreement with the executive meeting, but I think it might be not necessarily a shot in the dark, but maybe we should try Catholic U instead of the UDC office once just to see. I mean, you have different people in different areas. I know a lot of my people will come out, and as opposed to there, it seems like we're not getting the crowd that we probably would want. So I don't know what's the causing that. So anybody else, whatever you think. I mean, I like to get ideas on that, but I will be open to having a different site as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Holloway. Commissioner Sellers, you had your hand raised earlier. Do you still have a comment?
Yes.
Go ahead, please. Thank you.
It was
Your hand is raised. Go ahead.
it was regarding the grant um, that very similar to what you all requested me to have information about the tent and the skirts. I think that should be the same for anything that we're doing as far as giving money, granting funds out. So if we're going to move forward with the grant, I would like to see a budget of whatever grant that we're giving out by Friday of this week. I don't want to be rushed in the meeting the day of to review it. I want to have time to thoroughly see what we're spending money on.
I think that's a great point, Commissioner Sellers. Thank you. So I think that's really the expectation that we're trying to do. All documents that need to be shared with the commissioners prior to a meeting should be shared at least 72 hours, if not earlier than that, with the commissioners. That includes all financial reports, annual reports, quarterly reports, any other documents for presentation. So if we could please get in the habit of making sure that commissioners have those within a timely manner to review them prior to the meeting, that would be very helpful. Does that work for everybody?
It works for me. And then I'm going to switch gears to Jack's request. I just want to make sure, because when I first joined as a commissioner, there was a lot of folks wanted the meetings to be in person. I just wanted it to be a consensus. Is that what the folks on here, is that what you all want for the executive board meetings? I just, because you all folks spoke very strongly about the in-person meetings. So please speak up now before we go down this road of having Zoom meetings.
Thank you, Commissioner Sellers. Okay, I'm going to go in order. Commissioner Bakum, Commissioner Garnica, Sosa Garnica, Commissioner Hermes.
I much prefer Zoom meetings. Also noticed that hardly anyone shows up in our in-person meetings for the, full meeting. So I definitely think Zoom is better. But anyway, as far as having it at UDC versus Catholic, I would just be concerned about parking. I mean, I know there's a lot of parking lots there. We would just have to make sure at Catholic, we just have to make sure we were very clear about where people could park. And I just think it would be more complicated to have it at Catholic just because of the parking situation and finding buildings. UDC is a lot easier to find and the parking lot is a lot easier to find. So that's my comment about that.
Thank you. I do want to be clear, we're talking about two different points. So the executive meeting, what we're talking about is possibly going to virtual only. That's the executive meeting, and that does not involve members of the community, except they would be virtual. They would not be there in person. What we're talking about with the regular monthly meetings is the potential. We've not discussed moving those to virtual. We are just discussing keeping those as in person for right now. And question is whether we move them around or keep them at UDC. I am going to share just for historical knowledge that we tried moving them around before and it was a disaster. I'm just putting that out there. It really did not work well. We lost a lot of people by moving it around. So I'm not saying we can't try it again. I'm just saying we are already having trouble getting people. So it makes me very concerned. But Commissioner Sosa Garnica, go ahead. And then Commissioner Hermes and then Commissioner Holloway.
I'd be happy for exec meetings to be virtual. I think we've had some issues with consistency in attendance for the in-person exec meetings. I think virtual sounds perfectly fine. And then in terms of the monthly meetings, all I wanted to point out is that we've only been meeting in person with the community. I think this is like our third time now, and the attendance for the first time in September, we did only have 4 community members, but we actually had 18 come last month. So I do think that like consistency in one location helps, and that like even though it seems that a lot of people don't come, it's a big space, so it looks kind of empty, but we did have 18 people show up
Thank
in
you.
person.
Thank you. And also just to remind people, we are all volunteers. We are not getting paid for this. And so I think there's a great benefit to us doing at least one of the meetings. One meeting a month is one thing to ask for us to go in person, but 2 meetings a month I think is a little much, is my only other thought. Commissioner Metz.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like permanently we should move them to Catholic. I'm a big believer in diversifying and equity in our location placement. I think that they're all right now, they're on one side of town. I haven't seen anyone from 5A, at least CUA students or any of the religious houses or homes in 5A04. I know Commissioner Holloway said the same thing about 5A05. And I'm not saying that, people are like, us versus them, right? But if it's in the same group every meeting, sometimes I think there should at least be one meeting where now my residents and Commissioner Holloway's residents and the SMBs that are closer to our side of 5A are going to be given the chance to attend these meetings. And again, just because it's only 5 to 10 people, that I think sort of proves my point. I think if there were like 50 people that we would then be throwing them all off, that'd be one thing. But if it's just a couple people, I think my single member district residents would be much more likely to be inclined and actually probably know that the ANC even exists if we were to host 1 or 2 on our side of town.
And I appreciate that, Commissioner Myers. That's a really good point. I will also share for historical knowledge that prior to COVID, we used to have 30 people at the meetings. It was not significantly more than that unless it was a large topic, but we usually always had 30 people at the meetings. And I can't say that they were all from one SMD or the other, but you know, I think that I'd like us to get in the habit of being one place and then see, you know, that maybe that's the route to go. I don't know. Commissioner Holloway, go ahead.
Well, just to reiterate what you were saying about the different places. When I started ANC back in 2002, uh, we had the meeting in each commissioner's SMD, and we did that as a way of getting everybody involved. So I know things are pretty much different, but we always had a nice crowd back then. So I would be in favor of trying one place as opposed to others. For instance, 5805 is actually on my street. It's on First Street. But where the school is, which they opted all along telling us to hold a meeting there, and they'll, support everything that we're doing. And I think that would be a good option, just like Commissioner Hammers was saying, that this would be on this side of town this time, as opposed to it being, but consistency is everything. And I get that too. But just to try a month to switch around and see what happens, I think it's worth the try.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioner Holloway. Any
I
other
do too.
commissioners?
Yes, if I may, please.
Yes, Commissioner Thomas, go ahead.
Yeah, we should be prepared at any given time to take the show on the road, regardless of how many commissioners there is, wherever it may be. So we have to keep an open mind with this. Holloway said something earlier. It depends. When we used to move the meetings to every single member district, and it used to be a decent crowd. When Bob King with the ANC commissioner, we had it up there. It was standing room only, and so if a commissioner is having a big issue, it's a big meeting, I think we should be able to take the show to that area there. It's about the taxpayers. We're meeting them to see what their needs are. So we have to keep that open-minded at all times, and it's just to have in one place. So I hope my colleagues will look at that and be open-minded with that we can back up and go to that area to support that community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So one other thing that we need to keep in mind if we do consider moving it to other locations is that obviously post-COVID, we have to be able to provide the virtual option as well wherever we go. So, so we have to keep that in mind. So just as one thought. Okay, last comment from Commissioner Ramirez. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen, I also have one other topic, but just briefly on the exactly that point. I mean, this was actually something that was asked me by CUA's leadership, that they have a team ready that would give us all the support and tech and all that to make sure it's all set up and ready, and they would do it for free. Whereas I understand that we have to pay money through grants for the UDC stuff. But yeah, again, I just really want to emphasize being equitable to all of our neighbors and to all of our residents is super, super important. I have one other small topic. I don't know if you want it now.
No,
or
hold on. Keith, you know what the problem is? I can't see your hand because it blends in with your background.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. You're on mute, Keith. Commissioner Sellers, you're on mute.
I said, I'm not yellow. I turned it to beige to reflect me.
That's fine. I'm just saying it blends in with your background, so I couldn't see it. Sorry about
Got
that.
you. The question to Garcia, is there opportunity that on our website we could do a poll or just to outreach to ask residents, constituents, hey, what are their thoughts about locations for the meeting in addition to this conversation?
Yeah, I was actually going to suggest we could include a poll in the community newsletter from now until January and see what people say. We have over 500 people on there, and I think it'd be interesting to see what folks think.
And then as a follow-up to Commissioner Hermes, thank you for bringing this up as far as logistics. One thing we need to decide this by our next meeting next week, because we have to plan, we have to secure venues in advance. Whether it's UDC, whether it's Catholic University or some other part in ANC. And we have to let people know. So maybe if we decide by next week that it's going to be 3 meetings, and maybe we go on the road like every 3 months we go someplace else.
What I would say is that if we're gonna do it, we set up a schedule in advance for and one of the things we have to do at at our January meeting, we are required to set the schedule for next year. So I would suggest that between now and then, amongst ourselves, we determine what sites we want to do it and how often we want to do it, and that gets proposed at our meeting when we have to vote on our meeting schedule for January. I'm going to go in order of the hands I saw raised, which is Commissioner Holloway and then Commissioner
Just say
Bacone.
we have to secure the venue. If it's going to be at UDC, I have to reach out to them now to secure it for January. That's all I'm saying.
January, let's leave it UDC, please, because I think that's too soon. I think that's due January at UDC, and then we'll go do the others somewhere else. Commissioner Holloway.
Okay, so this goes back to what Commissioner Thomas and I were saying about everyone having a chance to have it in the SMD, which would bring their community out. So for me, I'm going to ask for the Latin school in either March or April, because I'm going to have probably my community day right after that. But then I have all these issues that I'm dealing with the parking, which is going to be the time that hopefully we'll have that council straightened out. So that's why I would want that. And a lot of the community is going to want to come out for that. And we actually can use the newer space with the Latin school. You know, they have the other side that's open now.
Yeah, so that's
very,
Commissioner Holloway, I just want to be clear, that's not in your ANC. That's in the
no,
next
it's
one.
not. No, it's not. No, it's not
Right.
in my ANC, but it's on my street.
That's
So
fine. But
part of
I
my
also want to
people-
clarify one thing. Commissioner Hermes did ask for March previously, so I want to make sure that whether he has a strong preference for March, because he asked for March 1st.
No, I can communicate with Commissioner Holloway on the side and Catholic U about what and the school.
That's
other
fine.
school.
So why doesn't everybody think about what months they'd want, and then we can talk about that. Well, we will have an executive meeting before our January meeting. So we can talk during our executive meeting about what we want, okay?
And I can go on record to say April now. It doesn't matter. Me and Jack
Okay.
will work it out. That's fine.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you. Commissioner
I, had
Bacone.
I can't use my hand feature, but nobody
All right.
asked me what I thought.
Well, okay. Sorry, Commissioner Alston. I don't see you or your hand raised. Where's your picture? I can't see your hand, or I can't see
My
your
picture.
face at all.
She's
So
in
hold
outer
on a
space.
second.
My face?
I can't see your face at all. I
don't
can't see
know
your
why.
hand or your face or anything. Commissioner Bacone, and then I'll go to Commissioner Alston.
I forgot about this, but we were gonna perhaps purchase the equipment, AV equipment, to be able to run our meetings. Because right now we have been renting the equipment, and they did reduce the price significantly. It was significantly expensive, and then they said, okay, we're gonna just do it through OANC. It's gonna be cheaper, but still, it's a cost. And I think it would be cheaper if we are gonna be having these meetings. We should purchase our own equipment.
So I thought we had already decided that. We had already gone through that, and I thought we were going to have that already in place for this meeting. Do we not have that in place for our meeting next week?
I haven't purchased it yet.
Well, then that was supposed to have been done after our last meeting.
Okay, my apologies.
So what arrangements have been made to rent the equipment for our meeting next week?
I think we were just gonna rent the equipment, but
But my point is, have those arrangements been made yet?
no.
Let me ask you a question. How many people
Hold on,
on
Commissioner, hold on.
on this
So-
thing? You know,
Hold on 1 second, Thomas.
Yeah.
Hold on. Commissioner Bacone, that's a big problem, right? Because we've been saying for the last couple of months that we agreed we were going to use our funds to pay and purchase that equipment. We did the research on how much it was going to cost. We agreed we were going to do it. We agreed in the interim we would use the rented equipment from OANC. We said prior to our last meeting that the equipment would be purchased in time for this meeting and that we would no longer be renting the equipment from OANC. But in the absence of us not having had those arrangements should have absolutely been made, that we have that confirmed that they're going to be doing that for our
Madam
meeting next week.
Madam Chair, please, Madam Chair.
Yeah,
Madam
go
Chair,
ahead.
please. Okay, we didn't get it last week. We're not going to have it this week. We're moving on. Okay, we're moving on. We have to move on. We can't, this is not school where you're at the ruler and you're
Right.
pointing at somebody. If it didn't happen,
No,
so
I
it didn't
understand that,
happen.
Commissioner Thomas.
But
I
no,
understand that.
we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't go there. Let's try to have it the first of the year, and let's go at that. That's all we can do.
If
That
I
was
can
just
get
fun.
it by next week, I'll get it by next week.
Okay,
I
just
can
send it next
order
week.
Thanks,
Okay,
Commissioner
let's go with
McCombs.
that.
So Commissioner McCombs,
Yeah,
that's fine.
please, please,
Just please make sure you get do the arrangements for next week.
please.
Do the rental for next week if we can't get it. We probably can't get it in time because we don't also have time to set it up, practice with it and all that. So I wouldn't even
Okay.
depend on that. I would absolutely make sure we have the rental available for next week and then
Okay, so we
buy
have
it
one
for
now.
January, okay?
Okay,
Okay, all right,
Please.
all right, good.
I help you, Bookum, okay?
thank you.
Yeah, so we just
Okay.
need to make sure that that's done.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Okay, my hand, okay, can't see it, but it's my time.
No, we can't see you
Um,
or your hand.
Well, I'm here.
Go ahead.
I can
Let's
see
go
you
ahead.
all. Okay, I think that, virtual is good. And during these winter months, the ones that we have with everybody, we might have to do those virtual too, because if it's snowing or cold, we can't meet people in person.
So
Okay.
what I would say to that is that, I agree. We need to, we want to be sensitive to that. And so we're going to be sending out a hybrid meeting notice. And if the weather is bad for a day our meeting is scheduled, we can always switch it to virtual that day if we need to.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Anything else we need to discuss at this meeting? Commissioner Sellers.
I was just gonna add, I think it's always better whenever we have guest speakers that they're in person versus virtual when we have in-person meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We can do that. Commissioner Sosa Granica sends out the email, she'll encourage them to do that. Commissioner Hermes.
Yeah, I've been reviewing our bylaws as parliamentarian, and one of the things I noticed is that they are severely outdated. Couple of things. First off, it lists that Ward 5 we consist of single member districts 5A01 to 5A08. We have 5A09. There's just a lot of things in here. So I might start the conversation of just sort of, we don't have to make any major procedural changes, but just updating language to be in accordance with actually the way that 5A operates right now. So just wanted to give everyone sort of a formal heads up about all of that.
No, I appreciate that. So in the past, what we've done for that is we've established a committee, a bylaws committee. And so I'm okay with adding it to our meeting agenda that we create a bylaws committee. Is that okay if we just make a note of that?
Yeah.
Commissioner Sosa Garnica, can you add that to the agenda for next week? That we're gonna request a creation of a review of our bylaws and create a bylaws committee. Okay, does that work, Commissioner Emez? Commissioner Sellers?
I agree. On a separate note, are there any updates or is there anything that we can do to fill the vacant spaces? Vacant,
So the notice went out again today. And if you also saw the notice from OANC, they're changing how that's going to work. Did you all see that?
I did.
They're changing how the vacancies is going to work. It has to be voted on, but the change is going to be that they still have to apply, they still have to get the signatures, but then instead of if there's more than one person running, then it'll be brought to the ANC to vote on, and an election will be held with the Office of Elections running the meeting. So they're going to make some changes to that.
I think they said the commissioners would vote.
Correct. Right.
That's the proposal anyway.
Right. The Office of Elections will run the meeting, but the commissioners would vote.
Yeah.
So I know that there's been a couple people who've expressed interest in doing it from 5A05. I've not heard from either of them recently, but I do know that there have been people who've expressed interest, and one person who told me that they were collecting signatures. That's the only vacancy we have currently.
How long has that been, if I may ask? They said they was interested.
That was about a month ago.
Okay. And they have not, okay. So that's that. Okay.
Commissioner Reyes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want to make sure I heard this right. They're proposing that if someone is duly elected by their own citizens,
No.
we would have the right to go reject.
No.
No.
The way when there is a vacancy off election cycle, what happens right now is that they submit
Like, yeah, what Keith and me and Valeria did. Yeah.
Correct. What's going to happen is they're proposing that it be brought to the ANC, and the ANC will vote if there's more than one candidate running.
Okay.
Then the ANC would get to vote on the people.
That is so undemocratic, and I think we need to submit a letter to protest that. I can't even. I'll quiet down. But that just, to me, it seems like it's their single member district. They should have, this is exactly why we got rid of
Yeah,
state
people-
legislatures.
But Commissioner
and
Ernest,
senators,
there
it
isn't a
makes no
vote
sense.
there isn't a vote conducted now. When
What do you mean by that?
when you went into office, you had to just get signatures, and then because it was uncontested, there was no election.
There is an election if there's two people, though. If there's
Right.
two people, there's the election, and that is far more democratic than saying that the current members of the ANC get to handpick who they want. It's
So
the
you
residents should have that right. Yeah, I
You
think
should
we
go
need
back
to.
and look at the email that came, and it has all the details on it, and there's a hearing date on there and everything, and you can.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Commissioner Holloway.
Yes, well, we also had another person in 5L5, and I'll speak back with them. I think they were trying to get their process going again as well. And so that brings to the point that there's going to be possibly two people in 5L5, and then you will have to have an election.
Right, that's
So
why
I
I
guess
said there
that's,
were two
yeah,
people.
yeah, that's a democratic way of doing it. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Commissioner Holloway. Okay, anything else about this or anything else we've just talked about tonight?
One more thing I have to say,
Yes, Commissioner Alston, go ahead.
pardon me, everybody. Commissioner Sellers, whatever you like to do, dear, whatever you like to do, Commissioner, it's fine with me. Okay?
All right.
And I also like to say I'm proposing to do an arts and crafts. And seniors will come in as well as young people on 2 days out of a month, 3 days out of a month will come in and do crocheting and things of that nature.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Alston. I appreciate that. Okay,
Thank you.
anything else for the executive meeting? Okay, then can I get I don't need a motion as this executive meeting, right? Right? We can just.
Wait a minute, I have to get sponsored pay for the supplies for the needles, crochet, and some material.
Commissioner Alston, go ahead and talk to Commissioner Bakum offline about that, and you can work out the details for that, okay? If that's a proposal, you can work out that with Commissioner Bakum.
Is there a motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting now?
We don't need a motion, so we've got
Okay.
unanimous consent, so we are adjourning at 8:20. Thank you all very much. I appreciate your flexibility tonight, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.